Today we're plunging into a topic that really touches so many lives, whether you're navigating challenges yourself, guiding young people, or just curious about resilience.
Mhm.
We're talking about mental toughness, specifically for girls, and, well, how our traditional understanding might actually be doing more harm than good.
That's exactly right. Our source for this deep dive is a really insightful piece. It's called Redefining Mental Toughness for Girls: Coaching with Strength and Smarts
Okay,
by Julie Hatfield-Still. She's the brand executive for the International Youth Coaching Association and also president of Beyond the Game Alliance.
got it. And our mission for this deep dive is, well, to unpack this vital material. We're going to explore why a new definition of mental toughness isn't just beneficial, but truly essential,
Yeah,
and then give you concrete, age-specific strategies for fostering it. So get ready to maybe challenge some old ideas and discover what true strength really looks like.
let's do it.
So let's unpack this then. The source immediately dives in, challenging that common perception of mental toughness. What has that traditionally meant, in sports, especially when we talk about girls?
Well, traditionally, it's often been boiled down to things like push through, don't show weakness, keep going no matter what. You know, the drill.
The old mantra.
Exactly. And while those attitudes might sometimes lead to, say, short-term gains on the field, the author really highlights the significant long-term consequences, particularly for female athletes.
How so?
They internalize this message, this sort of conflict, telling them, be tough but not too emotional, be fierce but never fragile.
Right, that impossible balance. And what really struck me in the source material was the author's own personal story. It illustrates this so powerfully.
Yeah, that was intense.
She talks about absorbing this be tough gospel from like age 7, pushing through pain, burying her emotions. But then, 2 weeks before college graduation, her armor cracked, as she puts it. She found herself on the sidelines, just gasping for air, chest tight, tears I didn't understand flooding in, and afraid someone would see me.
Wow.
Yeah. She felt embarrassed, yet totally invisible. And the heartbreaking part, she says, is that her story is far from rare. It's echoed by countless collegiate female athletes today.
And that anecdote, it's key because it aligns perfectly with the research the source mentions. You know, in sports psychology and adolescent development,
Right.
it really demonstrates how this immense pressure to appear mentally tough leads girls to suppress emotions, silence their true selves, and even disconnect from their bodies.
So on the outside, they look fine.
Right. On the surface, they might look like they're thriving, but as the source says, on the inside, they're unraveling.
And how does that unraveling show up?
It often manifests as rising anxiety, perfectionism, burnout, things that are often skillfully disguised as high performance.
That's a stark picture.
Yeah.
So for you, the listener, whether you're a coach, a parent, or maybe just someone trying to build resilience in your own life, what does this all mean beyond the sports field?
Yeah, the source makes it incredibly clear, and it's such a powerful point. This isn't just about sport.
Right.
It's shaping girls into women who spend their lives chasing approval, silencing their needs, and believing their worth something they have to earn over and over again.
Wow.
And that's not a strength, that's survival.
That really hits home.
Yeah.
Okay, so this brings us to a crucial pivot point in the source material. A new, much more human definition of toughness.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through what that looks like?
Absolutely. The author proposes defining toughness, just toughness generally, as the capacity to remain grounded, adaptable, and true to oneself in the face of pressure, adversity, or uncertainty.
Okay, grounded, adaptable, true to oneself.
Yeah, it's strength expressed not just in grit, but in grace, self-awareness, and the ability to respond, not just react.
Respond, not react. I like that.
It's also described as the quiet courage to show up, speak up, and stay in the game, physically, mentally, and emotionally.
So it's about that inner alignment as much as like outer resilience. And building on that, what about mental toughness specifically within this new framework?
Right. So the source defines mental toughness as the ability to manage emotions, recover quickly from setbacks, and stay focused on what matters most.
Okay.
It's the practice skill of holding intensity and vulnerability at the same time.
Yep.
That's key.
Intensity and vulnerability.
Yeah, there. Exactly. A mental attitude rooted in purpose, not perfection, where mistakes become fuel, not failure.
Mistakes as fuel.
Yeah. This definition, it really invites girls to be both strong and authentic, to fall and rise differently, and to compete from a place of wholeness, not fear.
That sounds like a far more sustainable and, frankly, empowering approach than that old push-through mentality.
Hmm.
But practically, how do we encourage, say, a coach who's been really deeply ingrained in that old way of thinking to truly embrace this strength and grace
Yeah.
idea? What's the biggest hurdle, maybe, in implementing this, especially in really competitive environments?
That's the core challenge, isn't it? And the source emphasizes this isn't about going soft, which is often the immediate fear, right?
Right, that's the pushback you hear.
Exactly. Instead, it's about going deeper and coaching smarter. It really requires a fundamental shift in mindset from the adults involved, recognizing that the true competitive edge, especially long term, comes from holistic well-being, not just suppressing natural human responses.
So the hurdle is often the adult's own beliefs.
Yeah, I think the biggest hurdle is often the adult's own ingrained beliefs about what tough actually looks like.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so the source then gets incredibly practical. It gives these age-specific strategies, emphasizing that if we want to raise mentally strong athletes, we must meet them where they are, not where we wish they were or think they should be.
Hmm.
And we'll look at this through the lens of the long-term athlete development model, the LTAD model, which, helps tailor support to different ages and stages.
Right, it's a great framework.
Let's dive into how this new mental toughness applies to each stage.
Yeah, this is where the real depth comes in. It offers tangible ways to apply this new understanding, not just for coaches, but maybe for parents too, just in daily life.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning. The active start stage, ages 0 to 6. What are the core needs at this really foundational level? And how does mental toughness even begin to show up then?
Well, for active start, the needs are absolutely fundamental. Trust, play, and emotional attunement.
Okay.
The coach's role, or a parent's role here, is really to help these young children start naming their emotions, model self-regulation, show them how you handle things, and encourage them to take safe risks in playful spaces.
Yes. So what does toughness look like at age 4?
Right. Well, think of it this way. Mental toughness here looks like a child learning to maybe pause when they get upset, instead having a full meltdown. Or saying, I feel mad instead of hitting, or maybe I feel frustrated instead of just bursting into tears.
So it's about that emotional literacy right from the get-go. What's one key strategy for that age group?
Exactly. One crucial strategy is focusing on praising their effort rather than just the outcome, like whether they scored or not.
Mm-hmm.
Guide children to pause with a simple reset, maybe like, okay, let's all take 3 deep breaths together. And importantly, incorporate short brain breaks through playful, game-based activities. Keep it light, keep it fun.
So not about pushing them?
No, definitely not. It's about creating that safe space for them to explore and respond to their feelings.
Okay, so that covers the very youngest.
Yeah.
Now, as girls transitioned into the fundamental stage, say 6 to 8 years old, how does our approach to mental toughness shift?
For fundamentals, girls need encouragement, lots of exploration, and critically explicit permission to feel whatever they're feeling.
Permission to feel, that's big.
It really is. The coach's role is to build their confidence through their effort, again, not just focusing on winning, and really importantly, to normalize mistakes. Making mistakes okay.
So what does mental toughness look like here?
At this stage, it looks like a girl who tries again after a miss, who feels safe enough to ask for help when she needs it, and isn't afraid to just be seen as she truly is, feelings and all.
That emotional safety net sounds crucial. What's a practical strategy to actually build that?
Absolutely. A really practical strategy is to normalize emotional expression. Avoid those well-meaning but often unhelpful phrases like, oh, you're okay, or don't cry.
Right.
Instead, try something like, it's okay to feel frustrated. What can we try next? You can even build emotional regulation into the physical drills themselves. Like having them place a hand on their heart and take 3 slow breaths after a really fast-paced activity. Just a quick reset. Or using emotion check-in moments. Maybe a simple thumbs up, sideways, or down check-in.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and allowing them to talk about it. It fosters a culture where speaking up, trying again, or even just encouraging a teammate that's seen as real toughness, not weakness.
Okay, stepping up in age again. What's crucial for the next phase? Learn to train. For girls aged, 8 to 11?
Right. Learn to train. At this stage, girls needed more concrete tools to deal with increasing pressure, and they're beginning to develop more body awareness.
Okay.
So your role, whether coaching or parenting, is really to teach them how to reframe setbacks and talk about emotions without shame.
And mental toughness here? What does that look like?
Here it looks like bouncing back from a tough loss, maybe, or staying in the game even when they feel nervous, really starting to manage those internal experiences.
That's where resilience really starts to get tested, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how do we equip them?
Yeah, it is. A key strategy is helping them name their feelings and then connect them to body sensations. You might ask, where did you feel that in your body? Just helping them become more self-aware.
Body awareness, okay.
Right. Another powerful tool is introducing a reset routine. The source suggests using the PBV formula, that's physical cue, breath, and verbal cue.
PBV, give me an example.
Okay, so a physical cue might be clapping their hands or shaking them out. Then the breath, taking a deliberate breath to reset the nervous system. And then a verbal cue, something short like next play or shake it off.
Got it. Gives them some agency.
Exactly. It gives them agency in those tough moments.
Yeah.
We also want to frame mistakes as data, not failure. Ask questions like, what did you learn from that rep? Or what would you try differently next time?
Shifting the focus.
Right. And even simple team huddles can become mini mental agility moments where athletes share times they overcame a challenge or encourage someone else.
Moving into adolescence now.
Yeah.
Train to train. This is girls aged 11 to 15. Such a transformative time. What are their unique needs here?
Yeah, train to train. Huge changes happening. Girls are exploring their identity, figuring out who they are, so they really need safe adults they can trust and a growing sense of autonomy.
Makes sense.
So as a coach or any guiding adult, your role is to talk openly about the mental game, about purpose, and how emotions genuinely impact performance.
And mental toughness at this stage looks like.
Yeah. It looks like maybe a player recognizing they need a mental reset and actually asking for one. Or a teen setting healthy boundaries for themselves. Or maybe a girl bouncing back from a tough conversation, not just a tough game.
Okay, so it sounds like we're moving from basic coping mechanisms to deeper self-management. What's a practical strategy for supporting that development?
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. A key strategy is just normalizing the emotional highs and lows that come with this age and with competing.
Okay.
So when an athlete is clearly frustrated, you might say something like, you care a lot, and that's actually a strength. Let's figure out how we can move through this feeling and get back in the game.
Acknowledging the feeling is valid.
Right. And introduce more structured mental reset tools. Maybe specific breathing techniques like box breathing or that inhale for 4, exhale for 6 pattern. Also, cue words or mantras they choose themselves, like be here or reset and respond. Visualization drills can be powerful too. And teach girls actively how to reframe negative self-talk, like consciously replacing I'm terrible at this with I'm still learning this.
That reframing is huge.
It is, and crucially, foster ownership and reflection. Ask questions like, what went well for you today? Or where did you feel mentally strong? And create space for those purpose-driven conversations. Help them reconnect to their why.
Their why?
Yeah, why are they doing this? Is it friendship, the challenge, fun, growth, maybe legacy? Something beyond just external validation like winning or praise. That really anchors them.
Right, beyond the scoreboard. Okay, finally, we reach train to compete. This includes girls aged 15 up to maybe 21. These are often high-stakes environments.
Yeah.
What kind of support do they need now?
Yeah, train to compete. Here, these athletes often need both high challenge and high support. It's a balance.
High challenge, high support, okay?
The coach's role is really to help them separate their self-worth from their outcomes, wins, and losses, and to support emotional recovery as a learned practice skill.
So what does mental toughness look like for this older group?
It looks like owning mistakes, but with grace. Rebounding after a significant failure or disappointment. And speaking up, even when it's incredibly hard or maybe unpopular with teammates or coaches.
That's a huge leap from just naming emotions when they were younger.
Yeah.
How do we help them embody that kind of leadership and self-awareness?
Yeah, it is a leap. You help them embody it by teaching self-leadership explicitly. Empower athletes to set their own micro goals, maybe create personalized pre-performance routines that work for them, develop mental prep strategies that they own.
So giving them the reins more.
Exactly. Provide tools for emotional recovery after high-stress moments, things like guided journaling, specific breathwork sequences, or even deliberate movement to shift energy. And reinforce that true toughness isn't about being unaffected by pressure or disappointment, but knowing how to respond. You might say, take the time you need to reset and then come back with intention.
I like that framing.
Yeah. Offer language for navigating mistakes, like helping them internalize, okay, that didn't go how I wanted, but it doesn't define me. Normalizing failure as feedback is crucial here too.
How do you do that?
Debrief performances, not just on tactics, but ask questions like, what did you notice about your mindset today? Or where did you get stuck and what might help next time? Create a truly safe space for really honest check-ins. Maybe asking, what are you carrying right now that no one sees? Or what would support look like for you, not just as an athlete, but as a whole person?
Wow, that's deep.
It is. And finally, keep inviting them to reconnect with purpose over perfection. Help them rediscover what sport gives them, not just what it demands from them. This whole approach, it prepares them for sport, sure, but really for life.
It's so clear from this deep dive that we simply cannot guide today's girls with yesterday's model. Those old ways, they were leading to burnout and like a fractured sense of self.
Exactly. The source really emphasizes that mental toughness isn't static. It's not something you either have or you don't. It's something we develop over time.
Right.
And it grows best in environments that honor both intensity and emotional intelligence. It's really about stopping the telling girls to be mentally tough and starting the teaching them how.
Teaching them how.
Yeah, redefining toughness as, like the source says, showing up with purpose, vulnerability, and resilience.
And there's such a powerful final thought in there for us as coaches, parents, or really anyone guiding young people. If we as guys aren't growing, adapting, and evolving, we're the ones falling short.
It really puts the onus on us.
It does. It's a call to action for all of us to truly understand and then implement this new, richer definition of strength.
Yeah.
So today, we've explored this really vital shift in understanding mental toughness, moving from that old model of suppression and fear toward authentic strength, rooted in purpose and, well, wholeness. We've seen how this isn't just about athletic performance, but really about equipping individuals for a resilient life.
Absolutely. We've walked through concrete, age-specific strategies, showing how embracing emotions, reframing setbacks, and connecting to purpose can build true resilience at every age, both on and off whatever field they're playing on.
So for you, the listener, whether you're on the sidelines supporting a young person, or maybe just navigating your own challenges, what old definition of toughness might you still be holding on to, perhaps unconsciously, in your own life?
Yeah, that's a great question to sit with.
And what new possibilities might open up when you embrace this more human, adaptable, and self-aware kind of strength? Think about how allowing yourself or others to be whole, strong, and vulnerable could actually be the most powerful competitive advantage of all.